Aloha, we are sharing more of ascension dynamics that we might be experiencing now on the ascension LightBody integration path. So we're going live with cosmic love and symphonic love. And symphonic was just sharing about her experience in the miracle coordinate.
Yeah, upon rising this morning, I felt, I just noticed my whole entire chest area and some of my torso was vibrating. It was vibrating quite tremendously, where it was a physical shaking, which I've never experienced before. And just tuning into my body, I was just guided to just relax into it and just to breathe and just to be present. And it went on for a few miracle moments, probably a few minutes, and then just dissipated. But it was quite a profound experience.
Have you had that experience before?
No, I've never experienced anything like that before. It wasn't like Kundalini or anything like that. I've had some vibrations go through my body where it did shake a bit, but this was unique. This was different. This was very pronounced. And it was pronounced like from the upper part of from my upper or my lower neck down to like maybe mid-torso. And it was radiating out through the body, but the whole body in that area was just literally like shaking. It was quite different.
So the ascension path, the actual physical ascension path and light body integration is very centered around the heart as our body begins to physically open. And the condition that is occurring now as the solar logos comes in as our original divine, we call it blueprint, is restored to the physical body as this magnificent avatar comes in to the form. It is the organization of new adamantine particles of creation around the form. So everything in form is structured by a field of consciousness. We could say thought consciousness or the emanation of consciousness in form. Many of us know what cymatics are. We speak of them all the time. Cymatics are cymatics is a sound, literally a cosmic sound that organizes particles around it to create form. And so the avatars that are organizing in our aura are the avatars of the original form, the unified field of all of the aspects of the self in a unity consciousness form, meaning that, a metaphor that we are being given is kind of like, this is the metaphor, the guidance is showing a boat, and if you go on a whale watching tour and you get inside, there's all these seats inside of the boat. And so those seats kind of, you could say, like break the inside of the boat up into the seats. So it's division. The inside of the boat is divided. The inside of the body is divided into organs and so on. And so the metaphor the guidance is giving as the Christos Sophia, the avatar self of the original divine blueprint, so to speak, is one of wholeness. So in fact, there's no seats inside the boat. It's like someone came in and took all the seats out, took all the organs out of the body. So now the body is just one holistic field of form. It's a unified field. The body is made of water, and we use this metaphor all the time. As the caterpillar goes into the metamorphosis, the imaginal cells begin to break down the internal structures of the caterpillar from the inside out, which is why the immune system of the caterpillar, first of all, attacks the imaginal cells, because they're actually breaking down the caterpillar from the inside. So that is what is happening as our solar logos is coming into our form, is the structure of our internal creation of our carbon-based bodies is actually being dissolved. It's being broken down. So a lot of people will notice that they're not so hungry anymore. And why is that? Well, it's because we actually don't have the organs in form for food consumption as the way that we used to. So science would say, well, true science knows that this is very valid because it is called metamorphosis. And we are surrounded by the natural world, which shows us that metamorphosis is a natural state, a natural condition. Everything is always transforming, and then it finds a form, and it holds that form and experiences and explores in that form. And part of the ascension principles, the core cosmic principles, are that consciousness has its original capacity to move in and out of form at will. So we are experiencing that actual disintegration of the structures inside of the form. What is a star being? A star being is one that can identify while laying on the ground and looking up at the stars at night, can simultaneously identify where those star formations, those star clusters exist within the body and what organs they are creating inside of the body. So we are the structure of the external creation itself. That is the manifest of our internal structure, our internal form. And some of us have been seeing completely new constellations in the stars, in the heavens, and going like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? 'Cause I have never seen that spiraling constellation before. Are you seeing all of those heart-shaped constellations? Like, am I seeing what I think I'm seeing with my eyes? So that is a representation of the transformation that is occurring internally within. So as the Kundalini rises, it goes through the heart. The heart is where the unification of our polarity occurs. And then that Kundalini rises up through the throat and through the back of the head, through the chamber of light. It's known as, the Magdalene's chamber. This is the chamber that fills with the golden elixir of light, and it goes into, then the Kundalini goes into the hypothalamus and the pituitary and the first eye. This whole area is the first eye. Once the pardon me. So yes, once the Kundalini moves into the hypothalamus, neurotransmitters are released. Serotonin is released, which makes us feel good. Vasopressin is released, and oxytocin is released. So oxytocin is a bonding neurotransmitter. It has us bond through love. And this is what guides us throughout all of the cosmos. You see that the natural world shows us that animals bond through love. And that is the natural state, the natural condition of creation. And so the oxytocin and the serotonin are released, which give us a feeling of love, make us feel really good. And the vasopressin is the neurotransmitter that controls how much water the kidneys release into the body. And so vasopressin, once the kundalini comes up into and stays up in this whole area of the head, all these components, the head is where the neurotransmitters are released that make us feel good or make us feel bad, also the stomach. But once this alchemical factory is functioning properly, the vasopressin is released, and it actually floods the chest cavity with water. And the heart, the chest cavity, literally begins to experience pressure. So in the dragonfly's dream, the dragonfly, when it climbs the stalk out of the bottom of the water, it exists, the nymph, the larva, we talk about this often, exists on the bottom of the water, and it's predatory. Once the nymph climbs the stalk of a water lily or a water plant and rises up into the sunlight, rises up into the light, we could equate this with the kundalini rising into the back of the head, what used to be the amygdala that used to be separate from the rest of the brain, but it's not separate anymore. And so the kundalini rises into the amygdala, and that is, the amygdala floods with light, and then all these other pieces of the head begin to light up. So the vasopressin starts to put pressure on the actual physical chest of our body, just like the dragonfly, when it comes up into the sunlight, its chest cavity, its thorax, floods with water. And we have shared this many times, but for anyone who might be experiencing the pressure in the chest cavity floods with water, and the wings of the dragonfly are held within the chest, within the thorax, the chest cavity. And within a matter of hours, those wings flood with water, and the wings unfold. It's kind of like, when a baby deer is born, and they're all like curled up, and they've got those long gangly legs, and they come out, and they're like just all in a little ball, but then their legs start to like open up, and the structure changes. Same with the caterpillar, same with the human Christos, the avatar self. That is what begins to form, is our chest cavity is opening to reveal our angelic wings, our avatar form that allows us the capacity to restore our heavenly birthright, to move in and out of form. We are developing new capacities. Our auric field is actually changing. The original seed of creation that sits within the hara, sits within the womb of who we are, that original seed has been restored, and that seed is our golden seed, our original seed of source consciousness. And so when it rises, when that seed is restored in the hara, and we begin to treat our temple as a garden, we begin to grow and germinate that seed. And as it rises up and comes into the heart, we experience love, we experience divine union, we experience the actual experience of divine union love, because now the tree is growing as it was meant to be, the true tree of love. And so we will experience love in all of our relations in a new way, a divine union way of love. and then the Kundalini keeps going, and it activates everything in the head, and the thalamic gate opens, which is where the lions sit, and that once the thalamic gate is open, we have made the bridge. We have restored the original bridge between the spirit and the form. When the thalamic gate opens, sometimes it might open and close again, but when it opens for good, we have completely restored our connectivity with Source, that golden thread with Source. A phone call came in. Now, all of these other components begin to manifest in our auric field. So the adamantine particles of creation are reorienting around us in our auric field. So for many, this can require a lot of stillness, a lot of rest, a lot of pulling our energy back from 3D realities so that we can reorient our consciousness to the process that is occurring and place all of our focus and energy there on the process that is occurring in the form. And we are currently residing in a most magnificent treehouse-like perch of a beautiful sanctuary space that sits atop a home surrounded by jungle and magnificent ley line. And this is a place for we that when many of these codes came in different experiences in 2016, we were in this very space and this very room, and so we are, through this transmission, transmitting these codes, this energy in the space between of what we were shown. And we came to do a water blessing ceremony in a very special valley, Mount Waialeale, on the island of Kauai, the wettest spot on earth. And when we did the ceremony on the new moon, the councils came in and said the 72 councils of light were downloading Tui's head, and the other 72 councils downloaded Tui's head at the Vatican in November of 2016. And yes, on election day. So it was really the beginning of the miracle jubilee in the timelines of creation to receive these Christos codes of creation. So after receiving the emanation of the B'nai or Ein Sof pillar that was coming in from Mount Waialeale, on this very beautiful bed with its gorgeous canopy and its beautiful linen nets all around the bed, and its great vast view of the jungle and the trees and the ocean and the clouds and the stars, it's all screened in. We had an experience the day after the codes came in, and we had an experience of Yeshua on Wee's body, laying over top of Wee's body in a light body formation. And between us was the Shroud of Turin. And what Yeshua imparted to Wee was that in history it was said that the Shroud of Turin was a cloth of an image of a man, and implied that it was a man named Jesus. But what Yeshua of the High Temple of Syrian Ru showed we was that the cloth, the shroud, represented transfiguration of the cells, transfiguration of the body into the body of light, the light body. So the process that is occurring here is a process that we are bridging, and bridging means that we might kind of feel as though we're going in and out of it, but we can trust that it's actually occurring consistently all the time. We're in the process, just like a caterpillar. Once it's in the cocoon, is always in the process of transfiguration. And so that transfiguration that is occurring within us might feel like a lot of pressure in the body, particularly the entire chest cavity, because the chest cavity, the heart chakra, is the cosmic yoni. It is the gateway, it is the stargate, it is the portal within us to transfigure the form. So go with these energies, relax as Symphonic did, relax, breathe into them, allow them, enjoy the expansion, allow our consciousness to flood into this field of expansion. Stay with it, tune with it, feel the harmonic of it. This is the Sophionic harmonic, where the particle and the wave converge, and it starts to feel like a high buzzing. A high buzzing. This is called attunement, like when two tuning forks are coming in together into alignment. This is the light body and the physical body coming into attunement. This is the activation of the music of the spheres, the restoration, the bringing home, the landing of, the anchoring in of the light body into the form. And it's real. Full transfiguration of what was called the flesh, and we personally don't choose that word, but it is full transfiguration of the carbon-based DNA. And this is not a process that can be done by the mind. It is a step-by-step initiatic process of learning to balance our energies in a fine alignment and fine attunement between the spirit and the form. And it is our birthright, and it is real, and it is happening to many simultaneous, currently on the earth, as it is in Tara and beyond.
Oh, thank we so much for sharing all of this. It feels so very profound, everything that you're bringing through, and how just actually being present to this transmission, we're feeling as you're speaking, we're feeling so much love like pouring in from the top of the head, and just like this warm right into the heart and into the body, but especially into the heart, and just experiencing just a pure love, and even bringing tears, just this, it feels like a remembering, a feeling. It's like a remembering, like, oh my gosh, this is so, it's like this deep, deep, deep peace and a warmth is what we're experiencing during this transmission. It's so beautiful, and we are so grateful.
We are so grateful. We are so grateful to be here with all of we Symphonic, and with all of we who are going through the process together simultaneous, just like a whole bunch of those monarch caterpillars are in metamorphosis simultaneous. That's why like 2 billion monarchs take off at once. So we are in it together simultaneously. And it is a great experience of cosmic love. So we will continue to report live as these cosmic downloads of light body integration continue to flow in. And we are getting the waft of magnificent tropical flowers all of the senses are tuning and aligning to we, cosmic love. That is our birthright. Sensual, mystical beings in cosmic quantum love. Aloha.